Who thinks Miami has a chance in this game? I don't think Miami has a chance in this game. I don't think Miami has a chance in this game. Miami has Miami has three people that are potentially hurt. Akeem Mizador is hurt, and who else is hurt? I'll say this: the only way Miami wins the game is if they control the trenches for the first two quarters of the game, like they did against Ole Miss. Then maybe they have a chance. If they can do that. If they can't do that, then let me tell you, Indiana's scoring. Indiana is putting up points. There's no way that Indiana comes all the way down to Miami to fold. I have a hard time believing that um, that is what is effects. I have a hard time believing that Miami actually has a chance in this game, y'all. The last time I checked, this Indiana team does not fold. This Indiana team does not tailor off. Okay? Indiana is here for it. They're not folding anytime soon, y'all. See, this is the problem with you two. It's so compare. See, this is the problem with you two. It's so compare. This is the problem with you two. It's so compare. This is the problem with you two. It's so compare. So compare. So compare. See, I just don't see any way where Miami actually wins the game. What Miami has to do in the trenches the first quarter and the second quarter is absolutely insane. There's no way they're handling Indiana for the first two quarters of the game. There's just not. Like, am I crazy to say that they can't control the trenches for the first two quarters of the game against Indiana? No way. They'll dominate, says Dean Crouch. Bruh, you're telling me that Miami is putting up more than 4 touchdowns against this Indiana defense? There's no way. There's no way. Fernando Mendoza has more touchdowns than he does incompletions in the past 2 games. Like, what? Last time I checked, Indiana has the number one pass game in the nation. Indiana has the top 3 receivers in the nation, who, by the way, I think all 3 of those receivers are better than Malachi Tony. Yes, Malachi Tony's a problem, but like, what are you saying? I think that they will need to take the ball and just send it falling towards the public. Uh, because he's played nobodies. Why? No, 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 no. Okay. Indiana is putting up more than 30 points in this game. And the reason why they win the game is because Miami can't keep up with them offensively. And I'm not crazy to say that. I'm not crazy to say that at all. Okay, y'all? I don't see a path, unless Miami runs the ball handily in the first quarter and the second quarter, I don't see a path where they just win the game. Like, it's hard for me to envision that. And I'll say this. Indiana, the way their defense is playing and their D line is playing, Carson Beck is going to be under pressure the entire time. Dean Crouch, do you know ball? I played Division I ball at Washington State University, sir. Yes, I know ball. I just don't go live on YouTube ever. This is my first time ever going live on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. But okay, tell me, if Mark Fletcher runs for 5.4 yards a carry like he has the entire season, do you think Miami has a chance to win the game? Because I would say he could run for 5.4 yards a carry, and that's not enough. I think not only does he have to run for 5.4 yards a carry, I think Carson Beck has to throw for over 250 yards, like he did against Ole Miss, to win the game. Which team has male cheerleaders? I'm rooting for them. Hey, man, Tavian Morris, all the power to you, sir. Miami has a chance to win if they play all second stringers. What? Well, their starting corner, Keontae Scott, Keontae Scott is one of the only corners that actually has a chance at manning up Elijah Surratt, in my opinion. Because if you watch the Oregon game against Indiana, they tried to play man-to-man against them, and it just didn't work at all. They toasted them. Chance to win if they play all second stringers. Like, Miami wins if they establish the run early and Beck has a perfect game. Beck, that's like, you're saying like, oh, okay, if this happens, and this happens, and this happens. As soon as you start going down that path, it's like, man, you got to be honest with yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror and be like, can Beck play a perfect game? Can Mark Fletcher run for 5 yards a carry? Can they force Fernando Mendoza to be uncomfortable in the pocket? As soon as you line up multiple things that just Indiana hasn't displayed being a weakness, you should start to be like, hey, like, should I really be betting on this at the end of the day? That's my belief. Like, and Oregon is trash? Okay. So, okay, Dean, ask yourself, how much better do you feel like the Miami defense is compared to Oregon's defense? And how much better do you think the Miami defense is compared to the Alabama defense? That's what you need to ask yourself. Because it needs to be, like, a lot better. Because Indiana put up 38 points against Alabama, and they put up 52 against Oregon, sir. So be honest with yourself. How much better do you think this Miami defense is compared to them? Because they need to be, like, raw. The one thing that scares me is Indiana only put up 13 against LSU. Meanwhile, Miami put up 27. Yeah, but 7 of those points was a pick six, Phantom. Miami has the best defense in the nation. Alabama got smoked by Florida State University, and they had an awful season. Alabama got smoked by FSU. They didn't have an awful season. They went on one of the most unprecedented runs in the history of the sport. They beat 5 ranked teams in a row. I think that gets rid of a Florida State loss. No team has ever beat 5 ranked teams in a row like Alabama did. Unless we're assuming Indiana broke them. I wouldn't be surprised. Indiana just completely broke the Alabama program in half and then broke Oregon in half right after. And the way they made those quarterbacks play in that game was completely uncharacteristic than how those quarterbacks were playing the past season. Hey, y'all, make sure to like the live. We're trying to get to 10 likes. We're only at 2 right now. I make college football content mostly on TikTok. First time going live on YouTube right now, but I figured before this game, I might as well get it in. I think if Carson Beck can throw for over 250 yards, they stand a chance. I just don't think the receivers for Miami can create separation from these DBs. Look at the Oregon receivers and how they just weren't open that game. Look at the Alabama receivers and how they just weren't open that game. And so I asked myself, how much better is Miami's receivers? Okay, Malachi Tony, yeah, he's going to get loose. He's going for over 80 yards today, no doubt. But, like, you can't put it all on one receiver, y'all. You can't. You can't. And Indiana's averaging 41 points per game, okay? Miami's averaging 31 points per game. So ask yourself, like, can Miami put up more than 30 points in this game? Like, honestly. For the people in here that are cheering for Miami, like, ask yourself, can Miami put up more than 30 points in this game? Because, like, I just don't see it. Do you think that they should remove buys from the CFP? No, they shouldn't remove buys, but they should fix the fact that there was 2 G5 teams in it when definitely, like, Tulane and JMU did not belong in there. There's only one of those teams that should be in the playoff, in my opinion. With all this smack talk, you better be live tomorrow so I can come and tell you how wrong you. Hey, bro, I'm hopping on live right after the game. I'm going to be on here after the game no matter what. So, Dean, you better be back. Subscribe to the channel, bruh. Better be back. Bro, you look like Curry. I've never got that. I used to have dreads. So I used to get Juice World. I used to get Jamar Chase. I've pretty much been called. I used to get XX Tentacion at one point in my life, y'all. So I'm not Muslim, half black. And I'm just on my break at work right now, y'all. So I did not expect the live to do this well. But like, hey, y'all, let's be honest. Indiana's run game. Can Miami stop it? Because Indiana has one of the best run games in the nation right now, okay? So I ask myself, let's say Miami does stop the pass game, which is a stretch to stop this Indiana pass game because of all three of their receivers being raw. But let's say they stop the pass game. Are they able to stop the run game too? It's hard for me to say yes to that. Are they able to affect Carson Beck in the pocket? Hard for me to say yes to that. Like, bruh, like, y'all, the data is right in front of y'all. I'm not saying there's no path for Miami to win the game, though. Miami, if they control the trenches in the first half, and I say a whole half, they have to control the trenches in the first quarter and the second quarter like they did against Ole Miss, and they have to run for 5 yards of carry like they did against Ole Miss and hold the ball. They need to hold the ball and keep it away from Fernando Mendoza, because if they give the ball to Fernando Mendoza, he's going to go score, okay? And that's the only reason why they beat Ole Miss, is because the time of possession was 42 minutes to 17, okay? And let me fill you guys in on a fact on why time of possession matters. Time of possession matters because it tires out the defense on the opposing team, okay? So if you hold the ball and you just running it against the defense, they're getting tired. And then, they give the ball back to Ole Miss's offense, and then Ole Miss's offense just goes out and scores like they do, like, because they're explosive. Like, that's the reason why time of possession matters in the game. What is comments saying? Exactly. G5 schools have to earn it. Top 4 conference champions only. All right, see you then. All right, Dean, appreciate it. Got Miami at plus 8.5. I don't know if they'll win outright, but they should cover. Miami, y'all, if this Indiana team plays to their capability today, they're not covering 8.5. But see, where I get tripped up, because I haven't even placed the pick. Y'all, none of y'all even asked me who I think wins the game. Where I get tripped up is Miami's in a home game right now. So you know what I'm interested in seeing? I'm interested in seeing how much of these people that claim they're the U fans show up to this game. Because the last time I checked, they're saying Indiana fans are supposed to outsell the Miami fans like 70% to 30%. But I'm not going to know until I see the game. And I'll say this, any Miami fan that's in Miami right now that's not going to this game, embarrassment. Absolutely embarrassment, y'all. Gonna have a home game, but Indiana fans traveled extremely well. 60-40 max. Like, it's not, like, Miami is not a cheap place to live, y'all. Like, why is that a thing? Like, are we pretending that the game isn't right in their backyard? Like, this isn't ever gonna happen in a national championship ever again, most likely. That the home team, like, is in their home stadium. Like, that's not happening, bro. Like, I just have a hard time believing that Miami goes for, that Carson Beck has an 80.2 pass grade on third down again. That was his stat against Ole Miss on third down. 80.2 pass grade on third down. So they converted, like, all their third downs. I don't think Indiana's letting them do that. Because I don't think Indiana's going to let them have 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s. It's going to be like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, where they have to pass. And when Carson Beck is put in a situation where he has to pass, he's throwing a pick. He's throwing a pick. Hey, y'all, make sure to like the live, though. I make college football content. It's all over my page. I played Division I at Washington State University, so hit me with a like. Appreciate it. Subscribe. Consider subscribing if you like college football. Everyone's saying, is Miami going to have a home game, but Indiana fans traveled extremely well, 60-49. Is it a crazy thing to say that Kirk Cignetti will be the best coach by 2035? He'll be the best coach by 2035, in my opinion. He'll be the best college football coach of all time by 2035. Is that a crazy thing to say? Like, let me know if that's a crazy thing to say, because I don't think it's a crazy thing to say. He took his team to the quarterfinals last year in his first year at a Power 4 school, and now he's in the national championship. If he wins tonight, is it crazy to say that Kirk Cignetti will go down as the best college football coach of all time? Let me know. Please do. Miami, where their advantage is the secondary. I think the secondary for Miami is the only part of their team that matters defensively in this game. If they can lock down these Indiana receivers, they have a chance. If they can do what Oregon DBs and what Alabama DBs failed to do, they have a chance. Do I think they'll do that? I would say no. I don't think I don't think Miami's DBs are that much better than Oregon's and Alabama's, y'all. Like, you guys gotta understand that, like, this Indiana team just, like, completely just shattered the dreams of two premier programs in a row. Like, not just like it wasn't like a coincidence. Like, they did it back-to-back weeks. It's hard for me to envision Miami, like, going score for score with Indiana. Like, oh, Indiana scored. Oh, then Miami drove down the field and scored. And then Indiana scored. Like, because at the end of the season like this, y'all, these offenses are going to be putting up points. That's not the question. Like, they're putting up more than 21 points each in this game. It's just like, it comes down to offensive consistency and offensive capability, and I think Indiana has Miami beat in a lot of those aspects. I don't think it's necessarily a close thing when you look at Indiana's offense versus Miami's offense. I think it's pretty handily Indiana has the better offense in this game. Now, defensively, there's more questions. I just haven't seen anybody be able to rattle Fernando Mendoza at all. But hey, y'all, make sure to like the live. Make sure to consider subscribing if you like college football content. My whole page, college football content. But yeah, I mean, when I look at this from bird's eye view, I just think Fernando Mendoza, better quarterback in the game. Handily, not really necessarily close, in my opinion. I look at run game. I would say it's equatable. They're like equal in their run game. I would say defensively, Miami has a better pass rush, but I don't think it'll matter. I'm not envisioning Miami getting like 3 sacks in this game and winning. Like, look at how many sacks they had against Ole Miss. I think they had 1. Okay, like, Fernando Mendoza is not just gonna. No, I mean, and when I look at the secondary, I think Miami does have a better secondary. Than Indiana, but do I think it's good enough to just, like, win the game? No, I don't. And I do think this Miami O-line is about to get tired. I don't think the Miami O-line is going the whole first and second quarter like they did against Ole Miss and then winning the game. I think Miami's O-line gets tired after the first quarter against the Hoosiers. That's what I think happens. I mean, take it or leave it, but hey, make sure to like the live, y'all. If you like college football content, just breaking down the final game of the season right now. That's it. I don't see a path where Miami just throws for over 250 yards like they did against Ole Miss. I mean, look at one of the plays they had against Ole Miss. It was literally a busted coverage where bro just got behind the defense, and Carson Beck was like, oh, catch, touchdown. That was one of their touchdowns in that game, okay? So it's like, this Indiana team's not giving up explosives like that. That's just not going to happen. That's just not happening. It's just not happening. So Phantom, are you still in here, Phantom? Give me why do you think Miami can win the game? Anybody that's cheering for Miami, just type one sentence on why you think, like, Miami can actually win. That's all I want to hear. I just want to hear one sentence. And I'll tell you if that's crazy or if that's factual. I just want one sentence. That's all I'm asking for. One sentence. Gosh, my camera is... Hey, but we hopping off the live in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We hopping off. Because I'm at work right now. But it's nice to know that actually YouTube Live is pushing this out. I didn't think it was going to, like TikTok. It's my first time ever going live on TikTok, on YouTube. I'm usually on TikTok. But yeah. Give me Indiana winning the game 31-28 in overtime. 31-28. They not on my end. What you mean, Jess? 88? You in Miami? Are you with the U? Are you with the who's yours? Who you with? Who you with, sir? I appreciate the like. Whoever liked it. We had 3 likes. We're trying to get to 10, y'all. We're trying to get to 10 likes. I pick Indiana. Why? See, you pick Indiana, LJ, but last time I checked, it's a Miami home game. Last time I checked, this Miami offense is peaking right now. Last time I checked, Miami's running for 5.4 yards a carry. Last time I checked, Carson Beck threw for over 250 yards against Ole Miss and almost won the game. Won the game. First stream for the game I seen. Miami all day. Miami all day? Well, just 88. Like, how can you say Miami all day when Fernando Mendoza has thrown for more touchdowns than he has incompletions the past 2 games? How can you say that when Indiana's averaging 41 points a game right now, sir? And how can you say that when the defense for Indiana just held Alabama to 3 points and broke the program in half? So I wouldn't say the Miami all day, sir. What about Fernando Mendoza? Fernando Mendoza, let's not pretend that like Fernando Mendoza isn't 2 times better than Carson Beck. Indiana 45, Miami 23. That's a good score prediction. TK Hilton. That's a good score prediction, sir. And mine is a little bit closer because like I've been going live on TikTok all week and I have Miami fans. There's a path for Miami to win the game. So I got Indiana 31 and I got Miami 28. Indiana is mature and disciplined. Yeah, they really are. You know what? Indiana is 4th in the nation in penalties. You know what Miami ranks? 98th, y'all. 98th, okay? So if we're talking about discipline and penalty yards, yeah, Indiana has Miami beat in spades. It's not even close. In spades. Indiana's mature and disciplined. Indiana defense is stingy. They really are. First play of the game, Dante Moore against Oregon. Snap. Throw. Pick. 6. First play of the game against Oregon? And that's an Oregon offense that wasn't even making mistakes like that. Watch Oregon throughout the season. They're not turning the ball over. They never had a problem turning the ball over. And then they play Indiana, and all of a sudden they just fall apart, and everything just breaks. And they're like, Like, what? I respect Beck, but Mendoza is better. Mendoza's a lot better than Carson Beck. Like, how many games, like, Carson Beck is not throwing for over 250 yards in this game. Like he doesn't have the receiver core to do it. He doesn't have the pocket presence to do it. I mean, yes, he ran for a little bit of yards against Ole Miss. If he runs like he has been, that's a path for Miami to win the game. But like he's not throwing for over 250 yards against his defense. He's not. D'Angelo Ponce is underrated. Fair. I mean, I think the Miami secondary is one of the only secondaries that actually has bodies that can cover up these receivers because Omar Cooper's getting loose, Elijah Sarraz's getting loose, and then all of a sudden Charlie Becker's 6'4", and he's just postering DBs for touchdowns, all right? Hey, y'all, make sure to like the live. Make sure to subscribe if you like college football content. That's what my whole page is. We're going to start going live a lot more often, even though it's the end of the season. I didn't think YouTube pushed their lives like this. Usually I go live on TikTok. Ponce is starting corner for the Hoosiers. Yeah, I know who he is, sir. I'm just saying that you reminded me of secondaries, and the only secondary that I see keeping up with the receivers for Indiana in the entire country is Miami secondary. I don't think any other secondary can actually match up against these receivers other than Miami. Miami's really the only team left. I thought Oregon was going to be able to, and then if you watch the game, they played man-to-man and got absolutely toasted. They got handled. The entire game, they got handled in man-to-man coverage, bro. So, and those are the freshman highs, and he is the best thing that Indiana. Everything. Yeah, like, let's not pretend Fernando Mendoza hasn't won the Heisman already. Let's not pretend that they're not beating teams handily the entire season, y'all. Like, bruh, like, how can Miami win the game? There's a couple things. There's like about 5 things that have to happen for Miami to win the game. Hey, appreciate the like. We're trying to get to 10 likes, y'all. We're trying to get to 10 likes. We only have 5 right now. There's 5 things that need to happen for Miami to win the game. 1, they need to run for 5.4 yards a carry in the first quarter and the second quarter and control the time of possession, okay? Number 1. Number 2, they need to affect Fernando Mendoza in the pocket. They need to affect Fernando Mendoza in the pocket. Number 3, I would say they need to throw for over 250 yards to beat this team. To win the game, Carson Beck has to throw for over 250 yards. I mean, that's what Carson Beck had to do to beat Ole Miss. So is he going to have to do that against this team? Yes. Okay. They need to rush for over 135 yards, in my opinion, which they're doing. That's their identity. They've been doing that every single game of the college football playoff. They've been rushing for over 130 yards. So it's not crazy to say they can do that. And then 5th, I'm going to say the Miami fans are going to be louder than the Indiana fans. It's a home game for Miami, and they're going to need everything to click for them to have a chance. How's the starting quarter? Miami 54-6. Mark my words, pretty much best D-line in the college. Mendoza won't be able to sit in the pocket at all. Mendoza won't be able to sit in the pocket at all? Bruh, watch the Oregon game. Watch the Alabama game. All Alabama did the entire game was dial up pressures against Fernando Mendoza. That's all they did. Alabama's defensive coordinator, Ryan Womack, I believe, he was just like, yeah, we can't beat them just playing in coverage, so we're just going to blitz. And that's all Alabama did. Guess what? 1 sack. One or 0 sacks. I don't quote me on that. But they handled them. That's the point I'm getting at. 38-3. They put up 38 points against that Alabama defense. And if you're going to sit here and tell me Alabama's defense was bad this year, I'm going to call you crazy. That is a very good Alabama defense. Best D-line in college. Mendoza won't be able to sit in the pocket at all. My predictions: Indiana 35, Miami 27. That's LJ. Hey, that's close to my prediction. I got Miami 28, Indiana 31. Overtime. My prediction, y'all. That's my prediction, y'all. Miami 28, Indiana 31, overtime. Miami in Miami's home stadium, absolutely breaking the hearts of every single U fan that's out there. LJ, hey, hit me with the subscribe to the channel, bro. The whole page is college football content. That's all I make is college football content. I'm mostly on TikTok. It's my first time ever going live on YouTube. But we're trying to get to 10 likes. We had 6 likes, y'all. Can we get to 10? That would be very much appreciated. And so I think I'm under the impression that I'm already a believer that Kirk Cignetti is going to have more national championships than Nick Saban by the year 2035. By 2035, Kirk Cignetti will go down as the best college football coach of all time. Is that a crazy thing to say, y'all? Is that a crazy thing to say based off of what he's done? Miami will push him out of the pocket. We aren't any of those teams. Miami is a generational talent on the edge. Nakeem Mesidor is hurt. Like, I saw an O lineman literally fall on his forearm during the Ole Miss game. And, like, is he playing this game? And then Miami also has a starting corner that's questionable. Forget his name. But, like, y'all, give me the Indiana pass game throwing for over 150 yards, right? Give me the Indiana rush game rushing for over 150 yards. And I think Carson Beck throws at least 1 interception in this game. Is it crazy to say that Dante Moore's a better quarterback than Carson Beck? And Dante Moore played like absolute dog against Indiana? Is it crazy to say that Carson Beck throws 1 pick in this game because he doesn't have good pocket presence? I don't think so. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say at all. Like, I really don't. Like, LO, keep dreaming, Miami out of gas. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's been a run for my, like, I just get stuck on the secondary for Miami and how they're playing, like, together. Like, the secondary for Miami is real, y'all. Like, if there's one secondary that can keep up with these receivers for Indiana, it really is, like, Miami. It really is. Like, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Maybe through to 2 to 3 interceptions by Beck. 2 to 3? Dang. I just can't see him going down bad. I mean, not in his home stadium. In his home stadium? In Miami? Hard Rock? You think he's throwing 2 interceptions? If Carson Beck is the reason they lose the game, he'll never be welcome back to Miami ever again. Indiana defense is pretty good. Indiana defense is really good. They just held... No, pretty good is not the description for Indiana's defense. It's very good. But hey, anybody else that's in the live, make sure to hit the like. We're trying to get to 10 likes. I'm about to hop off this in like 1 minute because I'm at work right now. Usually my background's a lot cooler than this. And like, but I didn't know YouTube actually pushes lives like this. So this is pretty fire. I'm going to start doing this more often. But hey, I appreciate everybody that joined the live. Put in their 2 cents. Hey, appreciate the like. Whoever hit me with the like there. But we're going to be making more college football content all year. This is the last game of the year, so I don't know really what type of content I'm going to make after this. But been making content all year, y'all, and appreciate you. Oh, you'll be there. You'll be there, LJ? That's fire. That's fire. All right. But appreciate y'all. We hopping off. I'm at work, so peace. How do we end the live?